Anime recap: these students are tasked with killing magical scorpions to win a silver coin. At the opening scene, the narrator reveals the brief explanation of the 3 dorms of Easton Magic Academy, where students with corresponding characteristics are assigned to A. The Adler dorm represents courage and conviction, Orca has wisdom and willingness, and Lang represents ability and ambitions. These dorms are rivals with one another, and their friendly rivalry carries across the entire academy. Mash was feeling quite pleased with himself as he held 2 silver coins in his hand. However, his celebration was short-lived, as he realized that he still had 3 more coins to collect in order to complete his set. Unfortunately, Mash's math skills left much to be desired, and he somehow convinced himself that he still had 28 coins left to collect. Finn, his friend and companion, quickly corrected him on his mistake, which left Mash feeling embarrassed and foolish for his miscalculation. He couldn't help but wonder if he had cream puffs for brains. To make matters worse, Finn reminded Mash of their unfinished potion homework, which was due soon. If they didn't complete it, they would fail the class and be expelled from school. As they were discussing their dire situation, Lance, their nemesis and classmate, barged into their room and began berating them for being lazy and irresponsible. Mash was fed up with Lance's bullying and decided to fight back. Using Lance's locket pendant against him, Mash managed to make him crash into the wall, much to the surprise of everyone in the room. After the previous encounter, Mash and Finn head to the school kitchen, where Lance presents them with the crucial ingredient for their potion assignment, a rare mandragora. Lance performs the sleep-inducing spell, Quientus, on the mandragora, rendering it motionless. However, when Finn attempts to cast the same spell on his mandragora, he fails miserably. Mash takes his turn next, but instead of falling asleep, the mandragora becomes even more restless and noisy. Lance provides Finn with some helpful tips, and after several attempts, Finn successfully puts his mandragora to sleep. Meanwhile, Mash's mandragora continues to grow and thrash about, causing chaos in the kitchen. In a desperate attempt to subdue the oversized mandragora, Mash smacks it with his hand, knocking it out cold. As Lance continues to teach Mash and Finn how to granulate mandragora, Finn is still struggling with the process despite Lance insisting it's simple. Mash, on the other hand, has managed to turn his mandragora into a cream puff instead of granulating it. Lance then tries to guide Mash step by step on how to granulate the mandragora, but Mash still ends up with a cream puff. Feeling defeated, Lance comments that Mash is only good at fighting, which Mash immediately agrees with, causing Lance to question why he's so proud of it. Determined not to lose to Mash next time, Lance reveals his plans to join the Bureau of Magic for personal reasons and warns anyone who tries to steal his coins will face severe consequences. Mash agrees that he doesn't need to be reminded of that, and the 3 continue working on their assignment. In the midst of all the brewing chaos, a secret meeting takes place at Lang dorm, where the members plot to steal the precious coins from the Adler house. Meanwhile, Mash and Lance find themselves standing outside a dense forest, with Mash curiously asking if they're planning to camp there. Lance denies it, clearly indicating their sole intention of completing the mission assigned to them. Suddenly, the pair is interrupted by a loud and flamboyant man named Barrett, who declares himself the protagonist of the story. Belittles Mash as a mere side character, but before things escalate any further, Finn and Lemon arrive on the scene. Lemon seems to have a soft spot for Mash, and their interaction is marked by blushing and bashfulness. Unable to bear the sight of someone else receiving attention, spits on Mash's face and begins a rant about how he will eliminate all the hot men in the world by joining the Bureau of Magic. However, Mash and his group seem unfazed by Dot's outburst, dismissing him as someone with a bruised ego. The classroom atmosphere was tense as the teacher gave the order for both Dot and Mash to quiet down. As the commotion subsided, the objective of the class was explained: hunt down a forest scorpion and bring back its corpse for a chance to win a coveted bronze or silver coin. With the instructions laid out, was the first to jump into action, taunting Mash and proclaiming that he wouldn't lose to him. Lance followed expressing his desire to win a silver coin, and Mash nodded in agreement. However, Mash's focus was quickly diverted when a fellow student accused him of being arrogant and acting as if he was better than everyone else. The situation quickly escalated when the student attacked Mash with an iron rod that suddenly appeared from the ground. The teacher immediately reprimanded the student for his actions and warned him of the consequences. Meanwhile, Mash struggled to comprehend why the student would behave in such a manner towards him. As he sought reassurance from the student, all he received was a cold, hostile glare, fueling his determination to succeed. Undeterred by the altercation, the student marched into the forest, intent on breaking Mash and emerging victorious. Lance then approaches Mash and warns him about the student and the citations that he culminated for his actions against students and teachers. Mash, however, was forlorn by the magical attack used on him crushed his cream puff. As Lance and Mash head into the forest, Lance claims they should work as a team to pass the test, but realizes that Mash abandoned him. Elsewhere, Mash realizes that he must have zoned out and got lost. Moments later, Dot appears and Mash smacks him and then comments that he wasted calories he'll never get back because of it. The two then hear a young woman scream and go to check what's wrong. Apparently a female student is in distress by a male student and so Dot casts a explomba on the male student. Trying to keep his cool in front of the young lady, Dot fails after she touches his hand and thanks him. Meanwhile, the recalcitrant student kills a large scorpion and notes if it's already time. Sitting on a log, the female student purposely touches knees with a Dota who tries to stay calm, but epically fails. The female student then calls Dot a freak, but lies when Dot asks her what she said. She then compliments Dot again and again he loses it. It's revealed that the female student's magic allows her to make any man fall in love with her, however, it fails to work on Mash. This disconcerts the woman as Mash's apathetic answers astounds her. So taking advantage of the one that she has under her allurement spell, she states that a certain student is after her Namita Silva. In light of this, Dot proclaims that he'll protect her from him. The man in question then appears and proclaims that Dot better prepare to die, while Silva notes how cringeworthy death is. Silva then disparages Dot claiming he'll give him a good dose of reality. On the other hand, Dot then casts a explomba at Silva who deftly dodges and so Dot casts a spell Kalita machine gun explomba, a superior form of explom. After the sequential explosion from the last spell, Dot flips off the explosion where Silva was at proclaiming, die twice. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the forest, Terafita Finna and Lemona huddle by Lance's legs in complete fear. Annoyed by Finn and Lemon's presence, Lance wonders if Mashle is alright as Silva had his eye on him. As the smoke clears out and Dot touts his premature victory, he sees that Silva protected himself with his iron magic. Silva then strikes his iron magic and in the process, a small rock knocks the cream puff Mash was eating out of his hand and onto the ground. Feeling exuberant from his display, Silva taunts and disparages while Mash is perhaps unnerved by how his cream puff was just wasted. And this brings the episode to an end. Comment for more parts. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss out on another anime recaps videos.